Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. We're back again with more Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Let's get right into it. Finally, time to meet up with Nocticula once again.
Greetings.
Asmodeus.
Lady Areelu, allow me to express my deepest admiration of your work, and may I just ask...
Under Areelu's imperious gaze, Nanio stutters and awkwardly falls silent. Not long ago, Nocticula hinted that she would be pleased if I brought her your head.
I am aware of this. The Lady in Shadow manipulated you into coming after me. By retracing my steps, you learned things that will help you to more easily bear the revelations that lie ahead.
Fancy seeing you here. I have a lot of questions for you.
You are looking for answers. That's good. That is why I am here. I have much to tell you. You have walked a long path. One where shadows constantly flicker at the edge of your vision, and questions multiply like flies above carrion. It is time for answers. At least, some of them.
Areelu lifts her mirror, and you fall into its cold, shimmering depths.
Day 16. Aridus 4715. Experiment, transformation. Subject, let's skip that. Objective, to embed the essence of a Nahindrian crystal in the soul of the subject. Expected result. The essence will coalesce with the subject's soul, which will ready itself for total transformation, triggering the concomitant powers. The time has come to put my plan into action.
You are my creation. Your power was my gift. Now you know.
Let's say I believe you. Why did you need to do all this?
You are asking the right questions, but the time has not yet come.
The unseen angel does not speak, but his silence seems to thunder in your ears.
Your power is of the same kind as that of Nulkineth, Jeribeth, and the other demons that you have met. The power of the Nahindrian crystal dissolved into the blood lies within your soul. I have already hinted at this to you once before, when I left the essence along with the lexicon of paradox in my old laboratory, and ordered the suture to make sure the gift found its way into your hands. But there is more. Do you remember when you were taken to Canobris with a wound that would not heal? Do you remember how Terendelev apparently healed you? That was merely an illusion. The dragon was only able to temporarily dull the pain. In fact, it was I who saved you, when I came to you in the caves and implanted a crystal within you. No, saved is not the right word. Your wound is still not healed. That is why your wound weeps blood from time to time, every drop of which burns your enemies.
As if to confirm her words, blood begins to seep from the wound on your chest. Eerie flames seem to dance within the crimson drops.
This is pure essence of Nahindrian crystal. My invention is far superior to the crystals used by Xanther, which were barely refined at all. It will give you new strength, and help you to overcome the wound that still slumbers within your soul. Take it. Take it, and you will see that this is the very power that has lived in you since the Battle of Canobris.
Hey, are we doomed to? The chief shared his power with us, so does that mean we're cursed as well? How long do we have left? Say it ain't so. I'm too young to die so tragically.
Touch the essence. I will not refuse this power, but I will decide how to use it. You touch the essence, and the power, so familiar and clear, flows through you like a river. The power that courses through you is so immense, the wound on your chest closes up as if it had never existed.
Now you know. You truly know.
Enough! Enough of this madness! I was blind. O Lady of Heaven, how blind I was. I saw holiness in the half-fiend's creation. Away! Away from this festering hole! I must bring this terrible truth to Queen Galfrey, and save those who can be saved from this darkness!
The angel's voice fades, and you can no longer feel his presence. He has disappeared. So this happens on all the mythic paths. On Angel, though, at the very least, he'll go back to the camp, and then you can talk to him and you can convince him to stay. But if you fail that, he will leave. And on all the mythic other mythic paths, he just leaves no matter what.
We still have something to discuss.
My main question is, what is this wound in my soul? How dangerous is it?
It was my mistake. My failure. I failed to... The tale is too long to recount here. Your wound is a reflection of the world wound in a way. It is very dangerous, even if you do not yet realize it. It is not a disease, but rather an abscess, which will one day burst and kill you. It cannot fully be healed until the world wound is healed. No doubt you have felt this affliction on several occasions. It awakens when you use your power. It makes you sense more strongly what mortals call the corruption of the abyss. Until the world wound is healed, you will have no peace.
You followed me.
Like a witch in a fairy tale, I watched over you from birth. From before that, even. And I kept detailed notes. You were chosen and prepared for a special destiny. Aside from this, I helped you, even when you were unaware of my presence. I saved you and your unfortunate companions when you fell into the crevice in Canabris. In the Grey Garrison, it was I who distracted Minago to allow you to approach the Wardstone. And in Dresden, I appeared under the guise of Yoniel to guide you toward the Sword of Valor. And I also left you a present in my old laboratory, and told the Suture to see that you received it. I knew that sooner or later you would find your way there. That place exerts a powerful pull.
As it turns out, you helped me thwart the plans of your masters, Baphomet and Deskari.
They are not my masters. They are a resource.
Why was that whole ploy with the lab necessary? You even sacrificed your servant, the Suture, for it.
You always have to sacrifice something. I wanted you to go to the laboratory to see with your own eyes what I had been doing and what I am capable of, so it would be easier for you to accept the truth. The laboratory is the place where I prepared your ascent. And the Suture was the only one who I could trust to execute my plan and explain everything. After all, he too once experienced rebirth at my hands. And that is why I was willing to risk his life.
So this is a bug. I've submitted this before in previous versions of the beta. But as you all know, I bought the Suture. He's been rescued. But it's only giving me an option here of saying he's still been held captive. Speaking of the Suture, he is currently being held captive by Hepzamirah. I saw her buy him at the flesh markets.
I don't understand why you felt the need to tell me that.
It would be better if you just told me everything instead of playing mind games.
Knowledge gained independently through research and experimentation is far more valuable than knowledge that is simply given. That is why I wanted you to go to the laboratory yourself. I just gave you a nudge in the right direction.
Tell me about Nahindrian crystals. Start from the beginning.
Nahindrian crystals are formed from the solidified blood of demon lords. Their properties are not well known, even among the inhabitants of the Abyss. And there are reasons for this. Acquiring the blood of a dead demon lord is very difficult. After a demon lord dies, their body is instantly absorbed into the Rift of Repose. Only the Lady in Shadow knows how to kill them in a way that allows her to preserve the bodies of her fellow lords and transform them into a solid state. That means that Nahindrian crystals cannot be obtained anywhere other than the Midnight Isles. Or rather, it was impossible until recently, when I managed to experimentally obtain a crystal from the blood of a still living lord. You saw the result. A dagger made from Deskari's freshly shed blood, which I left for you in Canabris. As regards the use of the crystals, that is a discussion that would take time, a very long time. Someday I will finish my groundbreaking treatise on the transformation of Nahindrian crystals, although it is unlikely I will ever publish it.
So you figured out how to use the crystals to imbue living creatures with power.
Not just any creatures, demons and half-demons. The soul must have a stable connection with the Abyss in order for it to receive the power of the crystal. Experiments involving tieflings and mongrels failed because the voice of the Abyss was not strong enough within them.
But I'm not a demon.
Is that so?
Areelu raises an eyebrow.
I wasn't a demon either when I started. But there are always ways to circumvent, or even to override the laws of the universe. I changed myself by knitting my soul together with the essence of the Abyss. And I changed you. Do you remember the fits of rage that began shortly after Deskari's attack on Canabris? Do you see what you have become now? That is the influence of the essence of the Abyss, which has awakened within you. All those arrogant crusaders, those knights with their eyes ablaze, those pious priests. They have installed at the head of their magnificent army a scion of the Abyss, the creation of the architect of the Worldwound, whom they so revile.
In this conversation, she's disappointed if you're anything other than demon. This is the first time, of course, that I'm having this conversation as demon, so it's actually kind of cool. She's really proud of herself and the fact that she's been able to install you as the leader of the Crusade, whereas she doesn't have that reaction if you have any other mythic path, or at least any of the other core ones. I don't know how she reacts to like Devil or Swarm or anything like that. It's strange to see you here in Nocticula's palace. Who do you really serve? Deskari? Baphomet?
Both, and neither. I have served both Deskari and Baphomet, and not merely as the lowest in the pecking order. But I do not think you'll be surprised when I tell you that to me, both of these mighty lords are merely convenient temporary sources of power. And their time is almost at an end. But the Lady in Shadow is different. She is the preeminent ruler. Soon you will understand this for yourself.
My power is different from that of Jerebeth, Nokaneth, and the other demons.
Yes, because I taught Xanther and the other servants of Baphomet and Deskari the earliest version of this transformation ritual. I spent decades perfecting it until I obtained the power that I gave to you. Power in its most purified form, cleansed of the filth and chaos inherent within the original blood of the Demon Lords. Your power is as pure as thrice distilled water, but it resonates with other powerful sources of supernatural power, such as the Sword of Valor. And your power can change. You must have realized this already. You have shaped my gift into a form that you yourself have chosen. You are seeking answers, trying to understand the crux of the matter. That is good.
I don't want to ask you about anything else.
I want to help you close the world wound.
Areelu's words are cut off by a quiet laugh. Sitting on the throne that was empty just a moment ago is none other than Nocticula, ruler of Island Shinra and the Midnight Isles, a powerful demon lord, and the one they call Our Lady in Shadow. Her red lips curl into an ironic smile, and her large eyes observe you with keen interest. You were about to say we are going to close the world wound, weren't you, Areelu? I see no reason to continue deceiving this mortal. Now I am convinced that he is quite worthy of serving me. I will even reward him with a modicum of knowledge about the events in which he is about to take part. Evil, kneel, my lady in shadow. No, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. Ha, chaotic, smirk jauntily. Yeah, hi, just so we understand each other, I'm not going to grovel on my knees before you. I almost want to say that too. Yeah, you know, we're going to do that.
Have I told you to bow down? Trust me, if I need you to do something, I won't leave you guessing. You will know my desires immediately, and you will know just as swiftly why fulfilling those desires is in your best interest. Our last meeting showed me that the incredible powers Lady Vorlesh granted you had begun to manifest most impressively. But I had to measure your worth as an individual, not as a tool. So I decided to see if you could win fame and respect in Abyssal, a city where even the most outstanding magical abilities are met with a shrug, without relying on my help. Well, I can say I have not been disappointed. You've proven that your character and your will are stronger than the Nahindrian powers Lady Vorlesh has vested in you.
You are wise, my lady. However, only those who have never known or forgotten what it is like to be mortal can so easily dismiss the importance of power. To be someone whose life is fragile and can be cut short at any moment, like a candle snuffed out by a gust of wind.
It is a shame your angel has left you, mortal. I would have liked to talk to him. I don't expect I will get another chance, as that celestial buffoon's days are numbered.
Nocticula's tone is casual, but her eyes are intent, scrutinizing you. You were able to see the hand of the inheritor despite all his enchantments.
The herald of that upstart goddess? Here.
Yes, although his defenses were quite intricate. A commendable precaution on his part, as word of the hand of the inheritor descending once more into the abyss reached the echo of Deskari almost immediately. Mind you, vindictiveness and guile have always been among his best qualities.
The hand of the inheritor told me his magic deceived the eyes of all evil spawn of the abyss, but not yours?
Perhaps you don't know everything about me yet, mortal. Perhaps you made the same mistake as many before you, and many who are more insightful and more powerful than you, by presuming to know what to expect from the Lady in Shadow.
Tell me about the Echo of Deskari.
He is a strange creature, a bespoke creation, so to speak. Long before the world wound was opened, Deskari, that little cricket, was seeking a way to have some fun on Golarion and assert his influence there. One day, he decided to gather a few strong mortal followers, fuse them together into one being, and pump that being full of his own power, in the belief that something worthwhile would come of it. That is how the Echo came to be. To the great dismay of both the Echo and the Lord of Crickets, the Echo was greeted by Areelu, protector of humankind. Areelu gave the Echo such a thorough thrashing, the whole abyss thought him dead. And yet he was not. Cricket, the younger, is alive and well, though I cannot say the same for Areelu. But the Echo remembers his humiliation still. He hates anything and everything related to Areelu, especially his inheritor, Iomedae. Her heralds, her priests, her temples. He would hate Iomedae's pet pug. if she had one.
Why does the echo of Deskari prey upon the hand of the inheritor?
Envy, humiliation, ego. The usual playthings of little boys from all planes and realities. The Echo suffered more than one defeat. First at Eridan's hand, then under the onslaught of the forces of heaven. Those routes taught him to attack his enemies by stealth, boldly and often, killing and crippling anyone close to the light-bringing goddess. Now, it seems, he has decided the time has come. The Herald of Iomedae himself is in the abyss alone, without a retinue of lesser angels.
I see.
How did you manage to befriend an angel? Did your looks and abilities not perturb him in the slightest? Or has heaven become more lenient, and now they're inclined to distinguish some children of the abyss from the others? It is most curious.
That's awesome. They point out how crazy it is. Your conversation is interrupted by a concerned-looking succubus who silently approaches Nocticula and then begins fervently whispering into her ear. Nocticula's expression turns hard and cold. As Nocticula ponders the new development, the messenger makes eyes at you playfully. You recognize those green eyes, except they were awash with pain when you last saw them, their owner bleeding out in the caverns of the Nexus. The succubus smiles slightly and gives you a wink. There is steel in Nocticula's voice. Another island, another loss. Enough. I warned them that I would not stand for the desolation of my realm. They have not heeded me, and they will regret it. Go to your sisters and tell them to prepare. Nocticula sends the Green Knight servant away and turns her face to you once again. The Green Knight succubus, I know her. Yes, you've already met Lalia, my talented assistant. I've heard she was very convincing at acting out her tragic death in the minds of the Nexus. As you can see, I've been watching you since your very first moments in the Abyss, and even a little earlier. I value servants such as Lalia. She stayed in character even when you had decided to finish her off. Your merciful decision has left a lovely scar on her beautiful body. Nocticula's amiable disposition evaporates in an instant, and her dark eyes become cold as ice. Incidentally, would you mind answering one question for me? Why did you kill Arg Maketh, the Shadowspawn Lord and my general? He was a valued servant, and had I not anticipated the possibility of his death, this murder could have significantly upset my plans. Were you overcome by the desire to seize his title? Well then, surely you understand that, along with the privileges, you have also claimed his responsibilities. From now on, you are my general, as was Arg Maketh before you. When the time comes, I will remind you of this. Evil. When I see power, I take it. Well, I'm in no position to judge, as I do just the same. It is curious how similar our paths have been. I, too, ascended by killing someone more respected and widely considered more powerful than myself, Lord Varathas, leader of the Shadow Demons. I suppose that, given this interesting coincidence, I will grant you my favor and forgiveness. I'm looking forward to full voice acting where they actually pronounce all these names and I don't have to guess. I have prepared a beautiful intrigue that will topple many of your enemies, seal the Worldwound forever, ending the threat to Golarion, and you have the chance to become part of that intrigue. My companion Ember would like to speak with you. Ember? So that's her then. Well, approach. Cocking an eyebrow, Nocticula looks down on her. I have heard you bleating your pathetic prayers at me. You have some nerve addressing me with such nonsense. Did you think I would simply repent? Renounce my status as a demon lord? Do you have any idea what I had to do to acquire it? Wait, what is this? Tears are rolling down Ember's cheeks as she sniffles noisily. She presses her maimed hands against her heart as she stares up at Nocticula. Her fragile form shudders from weeping. Areelu wrinkles her nose in disdain. Why have you brought this simpleton here? This is a Lynchia, not neuroscience. We don't give alms here. Nocticula throws a disgusted look at the crying girl. I can't stand these noises. Do you think you're the first to try to move me with a display of tears? It only makes me angry. If you wish to speak, then wipe your nose and speak clearly. Ember wipes her face with her sleeve. I know what you had to do. To others and to yourself. I'm so sorry. so sorry. If only I could ease your pain somehow, calm your sorrows. She believes that deep down everyone is good, even creatures that are evil by nature. I don't know what nature is and don't care a whit about cosmic good and evil. They are but labels thought up by philosophers. I know what power is, pleasure, desire. All this childish bauble merely amuses me, nothing more. So where were we? My pain, my sorrows? What nonsense are you talking? Don't tell me you pity me. After taking a trembling breath, Ember wipes the tears streaming down her face. I'm so sorry. You're the most miserable soul I've ever seen. I've seen people burned alive, people being devoured by monsters, people burying their children. They were in pain, so much pain, but I've never seen anyone in as much pain as you. What is this saccharine drivel? What do you even know of me, Nat? I've seen your city. You were the one who built it. It is the way you wanted it to be. It holds all of your dreams, all of your heart, and everyone in this city is suffering. Everywhere, all the time, every minute, all who live here are hurting and scared. If these are its citizens, how miserable must its ruler feel? Nocticula's lips curl in distaste. And this is what you brought her to me for? You think this infantile sniveling is worthy of my attention? I don't know. I just thought it would be amusing to bring you two together and listen to what a feeble-minded preacher might say to a demon ruler. Pah! Some jest. What if it amuses me to hang her upside down above a pit of ravenous larvae? Nocticula stares Ember straight in the face. So what do you suggest I should do, preacher? Beg the good gods' forgiveness? Devote myself to serving a sword-swinging upstart perchance? Or that old crone, the moon? No. Gods can't help anyone. They're just like us mortals. Silly, frightened, clueless. You're almost a goddess yourself. You know better than anyone that no one can save you. No one except you. Save me from what exactly? From yourself. From what you've done to yourself. From the city you've imprisoned yourself in. Listen. Ember's voice rings desperately. You are a queen, but you're the queen of pain and filth. Your realm is a realm of your own suffering. You're almost a goddess. You could do anything you want. So why won't you make yourself happy? You could become the Redeemer Queen. Tilting her head back, Nocticula explodes with wild laughter. Her body is shaken and she doubles over, slapping her thighs with her palms. When she is finally done laughing, she catches her breath. The Redeemer Queen? Ah, that's new. Never in all my years have I heard anything like that. Whew, she wipes the tears from her eyes. Well, child, enough joking. Get out of my sight, or I'm afraid I might decide to keep you here forever as my fool. So here's the way we're going to do Demon. It appears that the game allows you to try to pool together resources and people to overturn Nocticula. That's what I'm going to do, because I'm curious to see if you're able to overthrow Nocticula and get her out of power, if that puts her on the path to becoming the Redeemer Queen. Upon giving Nocticula one last smile, Ember ducks behind your back. You hear her whispering, "Do you think she took my words to heart?" Doubt it. I still hope she did, though. I told you to get out. I don't want to hear your squeaky voice again. Why did you lie to me and send me off to find Areelu? Nocticula smiles as if you just said something amusing. I have never given you any reason to bear a grudge against me. My lies have brought you no harm, after all. I simply nudged you in the right direction, bringing you one step closer to discovering the truth about yourself and the source of your powers. You disappeared, and I couldn't find you anywhere so we could talk. Yes, you had many questions, but you had to find the answers yourself. That is the essence of this game I have arranged. And my strategy has succeeded. Look how much you've learned, how your knowledge has deepened. Isn't that more valuable than the wise and magnanimous Lady in Shadow simply spoon-feeding you the answers? You sent me to hunt down Areelu and, at the same time, gave me the use of her chambers? Yes, I decided the irony would be quite pleasing. All this time, you've been closer to Lady Vorlesh than you thought. You are wise, and if you chose to act this way, you must have done so for a reason. Her face becomes impenetrable. That's just how it seems to you, mortal. But if you keep following my directions, one day you will truly understand everything. Did Areelu really create me? She has certainly had a hand in your present state of existence. Lady Vorlesh designed the Worldwound, a magical phenomenon of unfathomable power. To seal it, we required a key that was just as strong and unique. Simply put, we required a champion, and she chose you. Both your powers and that wound on your chest were the result of her experiments when she infused your soul with the essence of the abyss. Of course, you remember none of that. Everything was done in secret. Even the power granted to you was purified to the extent that it was possible, so that you would not guess its source ahead of time. In trial after trial, we watched your will be tempered, and when the time came, we started filling you with the energies of Nahindrian crystals. These energies are necessary for the task at hand. Everything that's happened to you was part of my intrigue. I was going to summon you and reveal the truth when the time was right. Instead, you have followed your queen's orders and arrived here early. One can only hope that you are prepared to accept the truth. Everything has its price, says Areelu quickly. Your wound was, in essence, the flip side of all my experiments. There was a reason why we required a true champion, not merely a living tool whom we could fling into the flames of the Worldwound and close it like any lesser rift. I think you should know that. Nocticula makes a sudden gesture, cutting Areelu off. Don't be too hasty. We have burdened him with enough revelations for now. Give him time to become accustomed to the truth about himself. Then you can share all the details. What exactly are you offering me? Actually, wait. I wish to inform you of treason. Nocticula looks quite amused. Is that so? Who is it you've decided to inform on? And more importantly, how did you learn of these traitors and how credible are these accusations? A friend of mine, the storyteller, has peered into the future. In his vision, Hepzamirah was sending demons after you. The demons were strengthened by Nahindrian crystals. A hint of dangerous excitement creeps into her voice. You are a font of knowledge, my dear guest. Let's just say I'm not surprised by her appetites. The ambitions of that brat, or a lecherous goat of a sire, were bound to surface sooner or later, but your warning will encourage me to keep a closer eye on her. You could have gone to Hepzamirah with this and received a payment for your silence. Your foresight must not go unrewarded. Yaz is working against you. He killed Willadis just to deprive you of a servant. Since in the full game I'm going to try to overthrow her, might as well see what happens when we let her know Yaz is a traitor. Nocticula shrugs with marvelous indifference. His betrayal was purely a matter of time. The interesting part was to whom my cunning assassin would defect afterward, and you've given me the answer. You have my thanks. I will make use of this information. It is my hope that you will remain just as keen and loyal moving forward. I think you'll find these traits useful. And for now, you may accept this gift as a sign of my appreciation for your loyalty. Shamira is researching the Nahindrian crystals in secret. Perhaps she is planning to overthrow you. A small smile appears on Nocticula's lips. How nice of you to warn me. I'm impressed. I do wonder, however, do you really think I was unaware of this, or did you merely want to demonstrate your loyalty? Either way, I appreciate you telling me. I will take this as proof that I can rely on you. Nocticula's expression remains courteous, but her voice now carries a hint of disapproval. It is unfortunate that while you did uncover a devious scheme, you still gave her the knowledge she sought. It would have been wiser to keep her in the dark. I have to keep a closer eye on her from now on. Then again, the ruler of Alan Shimmer trails off, weariness creeping into her voice. It's all so trivial. Mining the Nahindrian crystals is a surefire way to sink the island the crystals are on to the bottom of its sheer. I assume you understand why all who attempted to procure their monolithia were executed. At least you didn't tell Shamira about the mines you found. The last thing I need is the ardent dream burrowing under my capital. Why do you still tolerate Shamira? Someone has to deal with trivial matters. Shamira's betrayal was assured the moment I made her my favorite, just as the Forians before her. The second always dreams of rising to be the first. I know the feeling well. I've said everything I wanted to say. Nocticula nods graciously. I'd like to put in a good word for Sephorian. He has seen the Area's ways and is desperate to regain your favor. I thought Sephorian's ambitions had suffered a fatal blow. It seems I underestimated how resilient they were. Could it be he's had enough of begging by the gates of the battle bliss and wants some of his former power back? Nocticula demonstrates her awareness of the situation with obvious pleasure, a thin smile playing on her lips. Why would I want to draw someone closer who has already betrayed me once? Diplomacy 38. Yes, he betrayed you, but others will betray you too. Your servants are demons and they know nothing of loyalty. What makes Sephorian worse than the rest? There is a grain of truth to your words. Sephorian is no worse than any of my other servants. In some ways, he's better. Unlike the others, he has already tried to revolt and learned that he has no chance of wresting powers from me. Nocticula gives a decisive nod. So be it. I will grant Sephorian my pardon and return him to his place in my retinue. But if you are hoping for some sort of reward from him, you should think again. It's unlikely you'll ever see him now. I know that rascal too well. She chuckles. I killed Willadis, your court mage. Nocticula shows no hint of sadness. I am aware of this, of course. It is lamentable in a way, since his fear of me was strong enough to make him impeccably loyal. However, his death is but a single move in a much larger game. In games like this, losing a few pawns is unavoidable. I want to ask you about other powerful denizens of the Abyss. Are you interested in one of my servants? Or do you wish for me to tell you something about your enemies? What is your relationship with Areelu? She works for me, isn't it obvious? Lady Vorlesh is very talented. She may be the most brilliant and capable mind ever to come from your plane, and the guile she used to betray one demon lord master after another impressed me so much that I offered her the position of my advisor on matters of magic. Naturally, the esteemed Lord Goat and Lord Locust don't know a thing about the betrayal of their faithful lackey, Lady Vorlesh. I'm planning to keep it a secret for a while longer. Betrayal is too strong a word. I opened the path to Golarion for those two, and I told them how to extract powers from the hindering crystals. That will suffice. Doesn't it bother you that Areelu serves another master? Nocticula smiles deviously. I'm not prone to jealousy. Let Deskari think Lady Vorlesh serves him still. His bug brain seems incapable of sense of betrayal. As for Baphomet, he, like any talented liar, is most vulnerable when he's trying to deceive someone else. He was so pleased to have fooled Deskari that he became blind to the treachery that was happening right under his snout. In truth, Lady Vorlesh's loyalty is mine alone. Loyalty is for fools. Shared interests, that is what rational minds rely upon. That and fear. No one in their right mind would oppose the Lady in Shadow. How did Areelu become your servant? When the Worldwound was first opened, it only led to Deskari's realm. But then there was another, more powerful breach. The wound expanded, and his paths now passed through my realm, and Baphomet's as well. Before long, all sorts of interlopers had heard about the power contained within the crystals here, and the Midnight Owls were soon overrun with agents from my new neighbors. They flouted my embargo, burrowing greedily into my rocks, stealing my crystals. The main culprit was one Areelu Vorlesh. She was the one who discovered the energies in the hindering crystals. I had captured her and was about to carry out her agonizing execution when Lady Vorlesh offered me something I desired even more than her death. She entered my service, and her main task since then has been to close the Worldwound. Once it is sealed, my realm will once again be cut off from those of Baphomet and Deskari, and the slaves will no longer be able to infiltrate my islands with such ease. Are Baphomet and Deskari your allies? The Goat and the Locust? Allies is too strong a word for our relationship. Our connection was forged by circumstance, not out of a desire to deal with each other. When the Worldwound opened and tied your world to our realms, I did not join my armies with theirs, but I was forced into making peace with them so as not to get bogged down in a tiring and distracting war. If I had the opportunity, I would have met them on my terms and expanded my territories at their expense. Nocticula indulges herself with a thin smile. Unfortunately, this is not currently possible. By the way, one of them came to me with the offer of an atrocious alliance that involved conceiving little ones together. I'm still contemplating the specifics of my refusal. It needs to be clear and unambiguous. Her ensuing laughter is deep and musical, almost enchanting. Everything is clear to me now. Nocticula just gives you a mysterious smile. What exactly, actually, I want to know more about you. Recounting my whole story will take longer than your brief mortal life allows. The list of demon lords I've slain is endless on its own, as is the number of islands under my rule. And that's just the past. there's also my future. How did you become a Demon Lord? Bear in mind that I have always been unique ever since I was born. I was the first succubus of the Abyss, the perfect specimen of my race. I had been enjoying my youth, sharing it with my brother and lover, until the hungry gaze of the Demon Lord Nahindri fell upon me. That greedy tyrant saw me as a jewel to be added to his treasure hoard. He tried to abduct me. I knew I had no chance of defeating a Demon Lord, but in that moment I was not thinking at all. I was fighting for my freedom. When it was all over, Nahindri was dead. I eviscerated him, and for many days afterwards, blood spewed from his open carcass. First his body turned to stone, and then his blood, which had been flowing like a stream, began to crystallize into massive purple glaciers. Now do you see why they are called Nahindrian crystals? Perhaps they should be called Nocticulian crystals, because they are Nahindri's blood crystallized, so too did my understanding of my power. Soon after, I began my campaign of conquest. I was cunning and swift, and the Demon Lords themselves trembled before me, knowing I could take their very lives. Only when all of the Abyss spoke my name with terror and reverence did I decide that I had killed enough. I had a realm, I had power I no longer shared with my brother, I had servants, and most importantly, I had safety. No one has ever repeated old Nahindri's mistakes. No one has tried to make me their slave. Are the Midnight Owls really the corpses of slain Demon Lords? Yes, my realm is quite literally built on the bones of my slain enemies. Ironic, isn't it? How did you turn the dead Demon Lords into islands? Nocticula responds with a mocking smile. Surely you don't expect me to reveal the secret to you. There's no need for mortals to learn the weaknesses of Demon Lords. All I can say is that everything started with my desire for revenge. After I had dealt with Nahindri, I was furious at the thought of that vile, lecherous wretch just teleporting over to the Rift of Repose, where he could turn to stone and stay there to rot for the remainder of eternity. I wanted to trample his foul corpse, to keep his bloodied body within my sight forever. I yearned to display my glorious trophy to all of the Abyss, and that's when my power first manifested. I studied my newfound abilities and learned how to use them. Before long, I possessed not just one island, but an entire archipelago. What do you plan to do next? Subdue all of the Abyss? Possibly, or perhaps I have something grander in mind. The Abyss? Who cares about the Abyss? Nocticula's full-throated laughter rings out like a challenge to the entire world. I have no more questions. It's always nice to indulge one's curiosity. I have a question. From her sleeve, Nenio produces a pencil and a piece of paper. Lady Nocticula, how many copulation partners have you had? I'm making a list for the encyclopedia, and I believe you may take one of the top spots. Darren moves his lips soundlessly. You can't hear what he is saying, but you can clearly make out the words "shut up" and "idiot." For a few tense moments, Nocticula peers into Nenio's face and yours, then smiles with the slightest curve of her lips. What matters to me is not quantity, but quality. And I am well ahead of any other denizen of the Abyss in that regard. That is where we will end this discussion. What exactly are you offering me? I'm offering you the chance to become my weapon. I may not know the reasons why Galfrey sent you into the Abyss, but I know how I can use your crusade to our mutual benefit. Your enemies are a thorn in my side as well as yours. What's more, I have never schemed against Golarion, nor have my warriors taken part in the conquest of your plane, at least not at my behest. There's no cause for enmity between us. Why would you want to close the wound? When the Worldwound opened, I was pleased. My realm was now connected to another plane. I wanted to make it a crossroads of worlds, a place where demons, devils, and even angels can meet. The wound has a convenient path along which I could advance my ideas. But the Midnight Owls were not the only realm that has been linked to Golarion through the wound. Deskari and Baphomet now also had a way from their realms into your plane. The servants flooded my islands and spread out across them like a plague of locusts, killing guests who were under my protection, questioning my rule. They were driven by their lust to conquer and enslave, whether on Golarion or in another abyssal realm. I was forced to shift my focus and express my discontent. Eventually, I thought the bones of our servants would reach an accord. I would let their armies pass, and they would comply with my wishes while on my islands. Of course, the accord is a polite fiction. Both the Deskarites and the Baphomets are attempting to amass their power and influence in Alan Shinra to overthrow me. When they think I'm not watching, they break my taboos and revel in their own impudence. And worst of all, Lady Vorlesh told them about the Nahindran crystals. They realized what kind of power the crystals hold, and now they are determined to mine every last deposit hidden within my islands. And once an island loses its crystals, it becomes nothing but flotsam, slowly sinking into the dark waters of Ishiar. With every lost island, my power is diminished. I could start a war and kill the plunderers, but a major conflict would hinder some of my other plans. So instead, I will teach my neighbors a lesson by orchestrating their ignominious defeat at the hands of a mortal. What do I gain by serving you? A reasonable question. One must always serve one's interests. Well, rest assured that you will be adequately rewarded. I will give you gifts befitting your ambitions and my patronage, which you can certainly count on. It will prove more valuable than any enchanted trinkets you could dream up. What kind of reward would you consider adequate? Perhaps you'd like to replace Shamir the Ardent Dream and become my most loyal servant. All of Alan-Shinra will bow before you. And perhaps, not just Alan-Shinra. An enigmatic expression appears on her beautiful face. If you're so powerful, why do you need me? If I were to make a move myself, it would start a war. Not that I'm afraid of doing so, but it would hamper my more important plans. Baphomet and Deskari could never best me, but they could sow enough chaos and spill enough blood that visitors from other planes would shudder at the mention of Alan-Shinra. No, I will wage war on my own terms, in the shadows, and I will remain unseen until I drive my blade into my enemy's back. And, since Galfrey happened to send you to my realm, you have the honor of becoming my blade, mortal. Be glad you're wielded by skillful hands. We should also reveal how exactly our blade will be employed. Nocticula silences Areelu with a sharp gesture. We can discuss the details later, when the moment is right. Now is not the time for idle conversation. How exactly do you plan to close the Worldwound? She rolls her eyes. It is a complicated magical process. You will receive precise instructions once you've captured the Threshold Fortress on Golarion. There, at the exact spot where Lady Vorlesh opened the Worldwound, you will be able to close it. But first, you have to crush the Guardians of the Threshold, and their forces are growing by the day. Hepzamirah, Baphomet's daughter, is mining a large number of Nahindran crystals in my realm. These crystals are her secret weapon. No army on Golarion can stand against them. You must stop Hepzamirah. If you do not, your war will fall and my plans will suffer significant harm. At one time, I disclosed the secret of transformation to two servants of Baphomet and Deskari, Xanther Vang and Mutasaphen. It was a well-calculated gambit which bought us time and ensured both Deskari and Baphomet of my loyalty. Mutasaphen is Hepzamirah's favorite. He oversees the transformation of our army. Hepzamirah is currently on another island far from here. The route to that place is plagued by pirates, monsters, tempests, and other more terrifying dangers. Have you heard of the living bubbles of frozen time that swallow airships, and when the ships reach port, their crews discover they've been going for 100 years? That is not the strangest occurrence you could encounter on your journey. I'm willing to provide you with a decent ship and an experienced crew. If you kill Hepzamirah, it will stop her sinking any more of my islands, but without giving Baphomet cause to declare war on me. Why is it so important to kill Hepzamirah? Deskari and Baphomet won't just stand there and watch you close the Worldwound. They'll send their armies after you, so you will need an army of your own. And that is something the Crusaders won't have for long. Hepzamirah is mining more and more Nahindran crystals to empower her forces when she attacks Golarion. If you don't stop her, the Crusader resistance will be crushed, and the ranks of demons pouring through the Worldwound into your world will multiply 100-fold. You were sent here to cut off the demon army supply of Nahindran crystals, weren't you? Well, that's exactly what you're going to accomplish. I will consider your offer, Lady in Shadow. And accept it, I'm sure. I respect your caution and won't force you into submission. We all stand to gain if you do my bidding of your own volition. A glimmer of approval dances in Nocticula's eyes. An interesting destiny lies before you, mortal. You will rise to great heights and play a part in events of titanic proportions. Many would give their life for a chance to tread such a path. Hepzamirah visits Alan-Shinra every now and again, but her true lair is far from here. She hides on the island of Colyphyr to the northwest of my archipelago. There lies her secret fortress. In the deep mines, her slaves dig Nahindran crystals for the invading armies she plans to bring to the Golarion. I will give you a magnificent airship and an experienced crew to take you there. It will be a long and perilous journey. Take some time to prepare. If I am to depart for Colyphyr, your guards must watch over my camp at the Nexus and all who are residing there. Nocticula nods regally. I will send my assassins to ensure that no harm comes to your entourage. Be grateful for my patronage, mortal. I'm ready to hunt down Hepzamirah. Nocticula nods to herself. Areelu, you are no longer needed here. As you will, my lady. Areelu vanishes, but you notice the look in her eyes, pensive and appraising. Nocticula casts a piercing glance at the spot where Areelu was but a moment ago, then stops you with a commanding gesture. There's one more thing we must discuss. The Lexicon of Paradox, Lady Vorlesh's magical treatise that contains many secrets of the Worldwound. You and my servant, Lady Vorlesh, were just talking about the Lexicon of Paradox. For many years, it's remained split in half, harmless, but what was once divided can be made whole again. Who knows what power the book can impart to its owner? What if they expand the Worldwound even further, or connect it to other planes? Not a chance. The Lexicon of Paradox has caused more than enough trouble already. You already possess the first half of the book. Find the other one and bring them both to me. I will reward you handsomely. Giving the book into my keeping will also protect Golarion from suffering a second Worldwound disaster. The Lexicon of Paradox will be much safer under my watchful eye than in your travel bags. Wouldn't you agree? Why do you need this book? One Worldwound alone has been enough of a nuisance for me. I want to ensure that some future mage leafing through this book doesn't link my realm to another plane. Give Nocticula the Lexicon. The book is yours. You sense that if you give the Lexicon of Paradox to Nocticula, all your work with the Council will have been for naught. Give Nocticula the Lexicon. The works of Areelu Vorlesh vanish from your hands and appear in Nocticula's grasp. That was the correct choice. I appreciate your willingness to cooperate and offer you a gift in return for parting with this treasure. You've impressed me, mortal. The fact that after acquiring such precious and useful knowledge, you relinquished it so eagerly speaks volumes about your keen insight and wisdom. I value such qualities highly, and thus I offer you another reward, a great honor, the profane gift of the Lady in Shadow. What's a profane gift? Every succubus can bestow her dark patronage upon whoever she likes. Her magic will enter your being and enhance your already exceptional abilities. It will also allow me to watch over you and, if you are in mortal peril, help you. It will not make me your guardian demon, but you can expect to receive some aid from me. Furthermore, there is one more aspect to a profane gift. It allows the succubus to affect the mind of whoever is under her protection. You have proven to be trustworthy, and so I will not exploit this by invading your thoughts. Others, however, will not be so kind to you. If a powerful demon has charmed you with her magic and grants you a profane gift, you will become her toy. A mortal can only have the patronage of one succubus, and I would rather give you mine than leave your enemies a chance to cause you harm. Again, in my full playthrough, we're going to kick her off that throw, so might as well see what happens here. Accept the gift. I thank you, Lady in Shadow. You feel the power pouring into you, slithering like a snake to your very core, and as it reaches your heart, it coils around it and hardens, becoming armor of black bone. Never before in your life have you felt so protected, invincible. I'm ready to hunt down Hepzamirah. I hope you are well prepared. Have you brought your strongest companions? On your journey, they will be the only ones you can rely on. You receive no reinforcements, and you will not see those you leave behind on Olympia for a very long time. Don't dismiss the importance of preparing for this mission. When you're ready, step into this portal. It will take you to my airship. The captain and crew have already received their instructions. And good luck to you, mortal. An extraordinary adventure awaits you. All right. I don't see anything. I was just wondering if doing that gave me a special status or anything, but it doesn't look like it. All right. One other thing I want to check. One sec. Areelu left. Does she go to her room? I just realized I never checked that.
Forwards! No, backwards.
Nope. She's not in here. Okay. All right. Boom. Okay, and oh, you know what? I think my formation is all off, right? Yeah, the formation is jacked up. Okay. Oh, she gave me a couple of items. Let me go ahead and show you all those. Newest. Secret ingredient. Once per day, you may use this ability to make all potions used by your party empowered and maximized, as though using the empower spell and maximize spell feats for 1 minute. Interesting. And that's it. Okay. Alright, first we'll go here. So I am now level 17. 2 rage powers, please. Continue to increase persuasion. Going to get smash is interesting. Critical focus is possible. Oh, I still don't have shattered defenses? Oh, definitely, yeah, get shattered defenses. Rage power. Oops. God dug it. Here we go. Rage power. I guess we can go with Beast Totem. Lesser Beast Totem. Yeah, sure. What's that give me? Claws. Claws deal. Rage powers related to a theme. Okay. And then, yeah, Beast Totem. 1+1 to natural bonus to icy. This bonus increases by +1 for every 4 levels. Okay. And nothing here does all that much for me, so I'll let that go. Excellent. And then for this, we could go improve critical, I suppose. Yeah, oops. What in the hell? No. Bite. Ooh, here we go. Demonic aspect. Oh yeah, let's take that sneak attack damage. None of this is all that great for me. Whatever. Whatever. Level 4. Stone skin. Yeah, none is all that great for me either. More demon powers. Now, there we go. Teleport. Teleport. Okay. Woljif. Crit focus. Sounds good to me. What do you have here? Mythic Sneak Attacker? Sure. Mythic Sneak Attacker it is. Stigmatized. She already has power. Let's also give you Quicken. Level 7. She doesn't have any evocation spells from level 7? Other than poison breath? Yeah, and that's a cone power. That doesn't help her much. Necromancy harm. Weird. Alright, whatever. Now, level 8. Mind blink. Oh, that's the storm bolts. Okay, fine. Aha. Extra mythic ability. Greater abundant casting. Roll savant. And greater elemental focus. Oh, I got elemental focus? Sure, why not? But wait, what do I have? I already have quicken? Fine. Oh, I should have got it. Ooh, weird. Finally. And actually, I should go ahead and get a heroic invocation. Why not? Why not? Oh, there's also fiery body though. But no, we're gonna go with heroic invocation so that Ember can finally stop casting heroism 10 trillion times. All right, now. All right, I'm not sure how you're going to use Sorcerer's Reflex, but I'm absolutely positive that there's a good way for you to use it. You don't need anything else, right? Archmage Armor, yeah, you're good. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, Oracle. No. Feet. Weapon focus. He does not need that. Crit focus. I got crit in something? Oh no. Okay, we're good. Spell penetration. Improve critical. How does that destruction spell work? Can it? Has it been? I don't remember here. Where's that thing at? Is it based on caster level? It is based on caster level. And this, treat your caster level. Yep. Cool. Level 7. Don't you already have resurrection? No? Alright, well then yeah, let's get that. Is it? Resurrection takes 2 diamonds. Sheesh. Alright, and level 8, which we already have. Oh, he could get Frightful Aspect? Well then yeah. Give old boy Frightful Aspect, but then again, hard wilting, that's awesome. All creatures, yeah. Yeah, okay. And then greater healing. Does he have? Yeah, this is why he keeps failing. I should have taken that a long time ago. It's all good. It's all good. Destruction. All right, and last but certainly not least, perception. Feet. Guess snapshot makes sense, right? Reflexes, sure. Yay. More attack, more defense. And what's this? Deadly aim, make it mythic as a possibility. I prefer more damage. What does this do again? You get a +3 bonus on ranged damage rolls instead of +2. Oh, that's right, that's right. Yeah, sure. I'll take that. And that's all done. Now, spellbook. Whoa, he's got negative levels? Why is that, my friend? This is the cat. All right. And even though I rarely use it, Still just good to have it around. We don't need any more animal growth. Whatever. This looks good for the most part. You know what? This lasts a really long time. Greater invisibility is more useful for me. We don't need sea invisibility anymore. So we'll take that. And then 2 of those. That's fine. We don't need the invisible thing here. We never use it. We also never use blur, but we should, so I'll keep that. Here, another version of shield. All right. We'll throw 2 just for good measure. Weird. All right, you know what? I'm going to start bringing up better spells into some of these other categories. So I have to take a look at that. All right, this is not going to let us do everything right here anyway. Save here. All right, let's do it. Oops, sorry. You stand in front of the portal that will lead you to the airship's deck. This vessel will take you to Colyphyr, where you'll have to fight Baphomet's merciless daughter, Hepzamirah. You have a long and dangerous journey ahead. There will be no turning back, and you will only be able to rely on yourself and your companions. Before departing on this deadly and dangerous mission, you would be wise to check your equipment meticulously and complete all unfinished business, because the opportunity to come back here may never appear again. Step into the portal. The route marked on the map connects Colyphyr and Colyphyr with a black line. It is straight and steadfast, just like the commander himself, determined to catch and slay his enemy, Hepzamirah, Baphomet's daughter, at all costs. The commander's crew looks impressive and menacing, a gang of hardened skywolves and experienced aeronauts hand-picked by Nocticula. Even the ship itself has a predatory silhouette of a military craft, not to mention a stockpile of supplies and a formidable arsenal. One day passes. The voyage is only just underway, but the commander and his crew are already facing their first challenge. Having spotted the lone ship, a flock of harpies rises from the coastal rocks. Armed with hooked talons and carnivorous grins, they rush upward, squawking. Eerie, harmonious, and enchanting songs fill the air. The gazes of some sailors go blank as they cast away their lines and walk unsteadily toward the ship's broadside to step into the void, where the sweet-voiced songstresses are waiting for them. The commander decides to intimidate 39, chase the harpies off with weapon fire and battle cries. Succeeded, even for an experienced archer. Hitting a nimble harpy in midair is no mean feat, but somehow the crew manages to strike down several with well-aimed shots. The screams of fury drown out the enchanting songs, and the crew drives the winged predators away from the ship. With shrieks of disappointment, they continue circling in the distance for a while, but then head off in search of less dangerous prey. 3 days pass, 4 days total. Many cultures consider malice and belligerence to be contagious diseases. In the Abyss, one particular place transmits such quarrels in the air, like a noxious miasma. This place is Mahara Island, and the ship is flying right over it. Discord sowing whispers fill the thoughts of every crew member. Sailors suddenly begin casting hostile glances at each other, while muted but merciless brawls break out here and there with almost zero provocation. Such is the aura of Mahara Island, the heart of malice and disorder, a cauldron of the affliction known as strife. Tension and hostility between the crew seems to grow by the second, and a stabbing seems imminent. For no apparent reason at all, a bloody and violent fight breaks out below deck in the blink of an eye, then ends just as quickly. The hearts of the victors fill with horror as they gaze at the sight of their comrades' lifeless bodies at their feet. The commander, who was just passing by, barely avoids a pointless death at the hands of a cleaver-brandishing sailor. Had the blade swung a few inches closer, it would have buried itself in his heart. Having reaped her bloody harvest from the ship, Mahara mercifully releases it from her grasp. Infuriated, the captain of Nocticula's ship draws his weapon and personally executes the combatants who dared to wound a guest entrusted to him by the Lady in Shadow. With a trembling voice, he assures the commander that the transgression will never be repeated. 2 days pass, 6 days total. A hurricane of enormous proportion rages towards the ship, threatening to crush the boat like an eggshell. One of the sailors balks at the horror, spreads his wings, and swiftly flees to the deck, hoping to outrun the terrible storm. The effort is pointless. An airy tendril, a mere harbinger of the storm's full might, catches the fleeing demon, shreds his wings into rags, and rips the flesh from his bones. The winds catch the ship and draw it into a deadly dance. The elemental embrace lasts for hours, days, or maybe months. Within the stormy darkness and the chaos of crashing, salty waves, mere moments seem like an eternity. It feels as if the wild winds have subdued even time itself, twisting it into a bizarre spiral. The commander can barely make out the dark shape of the island below, called Areelu below, offering a chance that the ship might seek refuge there. But what dangers might await the vessel on land? Would it be smarter to make a valiant attempt to drive the ship through the raging elements? The commander, if you try to drive through the hurricane, you personally need to be able to pass a skill check of 39 on use magic device. It will not look at anybody else because you manually take control of the steering wheel of the ship. So if you can't pass that, probably should go ahead and land. Orders a landing on Areelu. Fleeing from the storm that shreds the skies like a hawk ripping into a partridge, the ship descends into the dense undergrowth of Areelu. Will this decision lead to salvation or damnation? Only time will tell. 2 more days pass, 8 days total. As a rule, death is associated with cold and desolate places that look entirely unlike the densely forested Areelu. But one should not forget that in the abyss, alive means dangerous. After a night, a day, and yet another night, the hurricane finally blows itself southwest of Areelu. The sky is clear and the mast no longer shudders from the wind's onslaught. Upon emerging from their hiding places, the sailors report with unpleasant surprise that the hull of the ship is tightly ensnared by vines and tree roots, which seem to have discovered and captured their prey with incredible alacrity. A quick head count reveals that several sailors have gone missing while standing watch on deck. Most probably, they fell prey to the near sentient predatory plants that have made Areelu notorious. The commander spurs on the sailors, ordering them to draw their axes. A fierce battle rages around the ship. On one side, predatory plants unleash volleys of thorns, waves of suffocating pollen, and grasping vines eager to draw anything not nimble enough into the thicket. On the other side, streaming sailors chop mercilessly at the entangling vines and bark-armored branches. The ship is surrounded by a mess of chopped plants, and the sailors eagerly cut the hard roots, binding the vessel to the soil. They work skillfully and ruthlessly, and before long, the vessel rises to the air again, carrying away the commander's depleted crew, drenched in blood and plant sap. I don't even remember anymore. 10 days? The outbreak of an epidemic in the close quarters of an airship is a calamity that can easily turn any vessel into a flying mortuary, grimly cruising the airstreams. Unsurprisingly, the crew is horrified when they notice the first signs of disease spreading on board. In the morning, many sailors find themselves unable to rise to their feet. The afflicted are racked by a merciless fever, and several of those most weakened by the journey have already stopped breathing. Neither spells nor mundane cures seem to help. The commander, Lich Mythic Path. Evil Intimidate 32 orders the crew to throw the sick overboard. The disease has sapped the unfortunate crew members of their last drops of strength. They cannot even spread their wings to stall their meeting with the cruel ocean. The wind carries the echoes of their screams and splashes as the bodies hit the water. The crew obey the harsh order, but dark desperation is writ on their faces. 13 days pass. Every aeronaut dreams of distant voyages, gazing upon wonders and collecting a bounty after arriving at their destined port. But no one ever dreams of fighting harpies, monstrous storms, carnivorous plants, or invisible but deadly diseases. The crew is tired, rancorous, and craving an opportunity to unleash their anger. Brandishing their cleavers, they surround the commander. Not all of them, of course, but enough to pose a genuine threat. Clutching his saber, the captain threatens the soldiers with the wrath of the Lady in Shadow, but they are too tired and too angry to listen to him. Nocticula herself would have to appear on deck to cow the desperate skywolves into submission. The commander, Intimidate 32, draws his weapon and graphically describes what kind of retribution the mutineers will face. The commander's harsh words send a chill creeping down their spine of every mutineer, and their eyes dart about frantically as if they hear death itself sharpening its claws. Terrified, the mutineers scatter around the ship, leaving all thoughts of revolt behind. 15 days. Colyphyr is in sight. However, this is not the end of the expedition, not for the commander. After all, journeys end in a safe port where their fortunate survivors may heal their wounds, quench your thirst, and drink away their loot. Colyphyr promises nothing of the sort. It is all grim rocks, gloomy clays, and the horrible creatures lurking within. One such creature notices the ship and takes flight. The beast is an umbral dragon, its scarlet eyes sparkling rapaciously, its jaws opening hungrily, and the airship seems a convenient snack for this monster. The commander, requires Demon Mythic Path, utters a fierce battle cry that promises imminent death to his enemies. The monster, startled by the primal scream, stops dead in the air as if hitting an invisible wall, then quickly darts away. Even an umbral dragon, who surely has never met anything to rival itself on this island, knows better than to provoke such dangerous prey. The airship finally makes contact with the stony ground of the island. With obvious relief, the soldiers hasten to tie the ship to some stone stalagmites so that the vicious wind does not hurl it back to the air. The night grows silent again, deadly silent, and it is unlikely that no one in Colyphyr has noticed the arrival of the commander and his crew. The expedition is over, but the tribulations that fate has in store for the commander are far from over. Somewhere among these rocks is Baphomet's daughter, and she is gathering an army that will soon try to conquer Golarion. Woo-hoo-hoo! Super epic. So, basically, this goes down in one of two ways. Either you're able to pass the vast majority of the skill checks, and you're able to land safe here. Right, so we never found the Spinner of Nightmares. It's not possible in the beta. Looking forward to doing that in the full release. But we did just about everything else. Captain, we are proud to be of service to Our Lady in Shadow. It was our honor to bring you here at her request. All right. Oh, cool. They changed it up. Used to be when you landed here, you were automatically tired. But there is still the other issue of when you first land here, it won't let you use any powers for some reason. Right, spell casting is forbidden. Why, I don't know. But let's see. First, let's save. So either you land safely like this, or you end up in a situation where if you're dashed on the rocks or your ship is torn apart or something like that, then some of Baphomet's people will catch up to you and they'll take you prisoner. And they'll basically jail you here, take all your weapons. You have to fight a few of them, get your weapons back, and then you can go through here. I definitely prefer this way because if I remember correctly, the jail cell you're in is on a different floor, which means you would have to come back down here to pick up the quest and the things you could do. But if your intention is actually to go through it as quickly as possible, it's actually might be better to get captured. All right. And with that, let's go ahead and get it started. On that. We won't activate that yet. Excellent.
This war must end.
Oh, you might notice that my hotbar has changed a little bit for some of my people. I did take the liberty going through and updating it right after we got that that mythic point, because I had gotten Empower and Quicken, and I wasn't using any of it, so I needed to figure out how to make best use of that. So where's that? So his stuff is all for the most part the same. What you see? Oh, I forgot I need to add on those. Took down teleport. We just got that from Demon Mythic Path, so definitely want to use that. Looking forward to it. I also put on polymorph. I might polymorph once or twice before we end. I did start out saying that this would be a polymorph demon, but never really got around to it, so might as well do it once before we leave.
Ready to move out? is restless.
She's doing her
I
thing
wonder
now.
why.
So she's got empowered and quick and burning arc, a quick and burning arc, and then the regular version and one that's just empowered. So she's got a lot more to work with now. And she also has a lot more cast of everything because she no longer has to activate greater heroism because now Nanio has heroic invocation. So that takes precedent over heroism anyway. Works for me. And just rearrange some of Nanio's stuff. She does have a quicker version of Phantasmal Killer now, so I can stop wasting turns experimenting with that. And if worse comes to worse and I need some more damage, we do have Shadow Configuration Greater, Shadow Conjuration Greater now, along with Weird, of course.
Oh, the
And
waiting's never fun.
then his stuff is the same for the most part as is hers,
your
except she
commands.
has more ammunition. Okay,
Who, me?
there we go. Now,
You are my favorite aid.
I was about to say, where is it? Okay, cool. All right, that's
I welcome
cool.
your company.
I don't
All
steal.
right.
I encourage
That
people to
sounds all
save the
good to
poor,
me.
helpless tieflings around the world. Starting with me.
Oh, I thought I put reduced person on that. Why did I do that? Oh. Put a large person on him because it lasts much longer. There we go. All right,
Something
now
wrong?
let's go. Oh, whoa. Oops.
Skip the pleasantries.
Almost forgot. Brave hero, come to my aid, I beg you. Go. Come on. Why is it doing that? Why is it bringing me back? Come on, let's go.
This way.
There we go.
I won't hurt you, my friends.
We don't need to wait for them. They're not worthy of that. Let's just handle the business. What's she using? Fire snake. That's unfortunate.
My name.
I don't appreciate that at all.
Wet dog.
Help, I'm in trouble. Oh, who will save me? A great reward awaits the hero who rescues me. And yeah, we'll take that. Nothing special there. Move along. The thing in front of you bears a passing resemblance to Nocticula, but even a blind person cannot mistake this creature for the Lady in Shadow. The demon's body is an oozing pile of filth and excrement, and it exudes a stench that would make the latrines of a poorhouse in Alan Shinra smell like a flower shop in comparison. Moreover, this creature sounds nothing like Nocticula. The demon's voice is thick like congealed porridge. Her words slur and slurp together as if they are being stirred with a spoon. Greetings, hero. If I skewer her with my sword, will she be a shit kebab? Scatological humor induces amusement in approximately 50% of the Golarion population. When measured as a dependent variable, the enjoyment of scatological humor has a negative correlation with independent variables such as age, social status, and intellectual development. Hey, wait, are you calling me a dumb young street rat? Well, you got me on the last one, but I ain't dumb, you know. I understood what you said. What are you? The slurping, sloshing sound of the creature's gleeful laughter makes your stomach grow queasy. Her body swells up in smug satisfaction. Mortal, you must think that it is Nocticula stands before you, but I've deceived you. I'm not here at all. though I am just as beautiful and powerful. The demon clearly has trouble pronouncing this last word, but she gives it her best attempt. I am the Fulsome Queen, the true mistress of this island. I rule all the caves, caverns, vile cesspools, quicksand pits, as well as its poison springs and plague graves, and everything. Yes, everything here is mine. I am. She pauses, her eyes darting around for inspiration. The Lady of Filth. The demon clearly invented this honorific on the spot, but she seems quite pleased with her new title. You are also a foul and disgusting creature. The Fulsome Queen gurgles resentfully, her body bubbling up like a pot boiling over. How rude! Don't you dare talk to me like that. What an amazing creature. Just look at the way she mimics the appearance of others through metamorphosis. She has the ability to transmute herself. I can say with confidence that we are looking at a one-of-a-kind specimen. Waldrop snickers, covering his mouth with his fist. Dunk of a kind, more like it. The Fulsome Queen gurgles in confusion. She likes me, doesn't she? You are a delightful specimen, a fecal demon worthy of a special place in the museum. Of course, this special place would have to be disinfected on a continual basis, but I'm sure the revenue brought in by the crowds of eager tourists who want to see you will be more than enough to cover the cleaning cost. Yeah, you can sell nose bloods to the tourists too. She'll be rolling in filth, but you'll be rolling in gold. So this is your island. Do you know what Hepzamirah is doing here? The demon smiles flirtatiously. She tries to make her voice sound soft and seductive, but without much success. I know everything, all the secrets, but first you must serve me. Then I will lavish you with my favors. Why do you look like Nocticula? The demon lowers her eyes flirtatiously. She giggles, pleased with herself. I can take on any form, and Nocticula is the most beautiful and perfect creature in all the worlds. That's why I want to be like Nocticula. Why did you summon me here? The demon grows petulant, her whiny voice like a spoiled princess. I need a knight. I am the Fulsome Queen, so I must have knights who will repay my enemies for wronging me. I've been hurt by everyone. This is my island, and they've made me an outcast. They kicked me out of the big wet cave, and they don't respect me at all. Especially that overgrown lizard, that black dragon. She chased me away, mocked me, and then tried to eat me. Dragons are nasty. Be a good knight, and kill the dragon. An umbral dragon? I've encountered this beast before. The demon's quarrelsome voice sounds like a bubbling swamp full of poisonous gas. Did she hurt you too? She's hurt me many times. I'm strong, but she has wings, and it hurts when she spits. Let's kill her. You kill her, in my honor. Was she really trying to eat you? I find that hard to believe. The Fulsome Queen sniffs tearfully and says in a whiny, petulant voice, Yes, no one has ever been that impertinent. No one has ever tried to eat me before, ever. And that nasty dragon, she bragged about eating everything, even dead souls. She giggled and said she'd never had anything like me before, and I chased her away, but she'll be back. I didn't like being chewed. It was so disgusting. Why should I kill your enemies? The creature tries to look seductive, but merely succeeds in striking an awkward pose. There's a purr in her voice as she gurgles. Because I asked you to? Isn't that enough of a reason? And where do I find this dragon? The evil lizard lives nearby, in a big cave with a hole at the top. The rain falls into the hole. It's a good cave, dark and wet, and it used to be very quiet. But then the fat lizard came and kicked me out of there, because she wouldn't fit in any other caves. Why does she need such a good cave? She's always out hunting. She flies over the island all the time, and the cave just stands there empty. If the dragon is always out hunting, how am I supposed to catch her in the cave? The Fulsome Queen stares at you for a long time in dumbfounded silence. Finally, with the air of someone imparting great wisdom, she says smugly, If the dragon isn't in her lair, you'll have to summon her. Dragons love their treasure. Everyone knows that. If you touch the treasure, the dragon will hurry back in the blink of an eye to protect her property. But the things scattered around the cave, the bright stick with a bird on top, the sparkly dress, the round coins, and even the pretty little crown. The demon's voice grows wistful, and there's a faraway look in her eyes. They're all just silly rocks that have been bred into illusions. And the real treasure looks like boring rocks. Look closely, and you'll see that I'm right. I know this because I snuck in there and wanted to because my gaze pierced through the silly spell. Very well, I'll deal with this monster. The demon's voice is soft and flirtatious. I see that you're brave. Kill the monster, and I will reward you terribly generously. I have to go. The Folsom Queen tries to look regal and impressive, but without much success. She dismisses you with an awkward wave of her hand, disturbing the swarm of flies that hover around her loathsome form. They scatter in all directions with a low buzzing sound.
Wherever my legs carry me.
All right. We have our direction.
Can we retreat already?
Protection, scimitar +4. Belt of physical protection. Ooh, +4 enhancement bonuses to strength, dexterity, and constitution. Gloves of dueling. These gloves grant their wearer a +4 bonus to CMD against disarmor trims. If the wearer has a weapon training ability and is wielding a weapon against a bonus 2, that bonus increases by 2. Staff of the Extinguished Flames. This staff is covered in intricate carvings. You are not familiar with its symbolic imagery, and the carved images are not from many Golarion religions. However, the images depicted on the staff do look similar to the religious iconography used by Serenre's worshippers, and this enables you to discern their meaning. The carvings promise healing to those who suffer, but any power the staff may have possessed is long gone. Okay, that's interesting. What is this? That's a +6 strength. That's +4. Belt of physical perfection. There we go. What are you wearing? Slaughter. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Fine. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen that demon that's supposed to be summoned by her. All right, that's all stuff to sell.
Forwards? No, backwards. Backwards!
Oh no, I was wrong. Okay, this is the cell. Okay, so it is on the same floor. I take it back. So yeah, that group I just faced, that's the group that you need to go through. And then I think the chest where they keep your items is somewhere over here. The tattered Inglewatt banner must have been taken as a trophy. The holy paladin who carried it probably perished in the mines of Colyphyr long ago. Even though we probably don't have any corruption because we haven't rested here yet, but whatever.
Anything new?
All right, come on. Save here.
Anything for you.
Blood!
So these, no, these are just physical guys. Sorry. Excellent job. Ooh, look who's got some dinosaur bones.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
Have I pleased you?
Immensely, my darling. Immensely. Now let's see.
No time for debates.
What's up there? Oop, 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 oop. Nice. There we go. Vibrant Dissolver. Whenever the wielder of this +4 ultrasound light pick lands a hit on a new enemy for the first time, the enemy must pass a Fortitude saving throw or suffer damage equal to its AC. Whoops. Sorry.
This way.
And what's this? Ah, this is where you face a dragon, I think. Yep. Alright. An illusion makes this pile of cobblestones look like a pile of treasure. An intricate illusion conceals this pile of glittering treasures.
Wherever my legs carry me.
I don't remember what element he does. Let's assume it's fire. Alright, let's rest y'all.
You require my
Stay out
unbiased
the
opinion?
way.
Rules are made to be broken.
Yours to command.
Actually, no. You know what? When do you come here?
Best.
You can activate it. Does it count as a fey creature? I'm not sure. Let's assume yes. Okay. And do we need anything else? Shouldn't. Let's go ahead and just try this.
Let's shred them.
Not again. Get your hands off my treasure. Okay. Hey, he doesn't have invisibility on? Ah, crap. That's fine.
Cover me, all right?
Well, that's a problem. Oh my, 66? Wow. Well, that's a promising start. Okay. Oh, I should have turned on strength for him. All right, what do you do about that? Yeah, I guess we start with this. Wow, that's got to come down somehow. It's going to be very, very bad if this doesn't. That's new. People didn't drop in and help before. Oh, crap. So they changed this fight up some. Well, she hit him once. That's something. All right. Wait. Mine. Oh, I took that off accidentally. Right. Okay. Hey, some of these people can't handle that. Excellent. Frightful presence. All right, Ember. This is empowered and quicken. Might as well use it. And then we could use some of this, right?
Surrender, or else.
No. What's the problem? Won't let us do anything else. Oh, maybe this is because it's that first one. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It's okay. Man, I really should have turned on strength for you, but it's okay. We're just gonna roll with this. We're just gonna roll with this, and we're just gonna get it done.
Slice! Behead!
Definitely could have been better. Well, Jeff, what about you? Definitely should have had on invisibility for you. And
Why
yeah,
not both?
yeah, that's not going well. All right, you. Can we get rid of you? Yes, we can. Very nice. Yeah, sure, run away. Do what you go. Down there? Ah, crap. Interesting. That's why so many people are involved. Okay.
The hell beg me to stop!
All right. We're actually dealing with this dragon pretty nicely thus far. Now, Nanio, what do we want to do? We've got two people, right? I don't think weird. Yeah, weird's not large enough to convey that area. So first we'll use a quick inversion. Can we just go ahead and deal with you? Would have been nice, but oh well. Does a little bit of damage. So instead we'll do... There we go. What? Oh, okay, it did hit the dragon. Excellent. That was a little unfortunate, but it's okay. All right, Empower and Quicken. That'll work. And then let's go ahead and just hit both of you. What is the problem? Am I not thinking of this correctly? Is it a problem? Maybe next time I should only use the one that has Quicken. Maybe if it's empowered. Oh, nice. Maybe it's empowered, it won't let you,
May I see your entrails, please?
And you.
Distract them from me.
Oh, I should have just activated. Does this work? Nope. I had a feeling it would be immune. That's fine. Keep running. Do what you're gonna do. All right. There we go. And the rest of you are just regular scrubs. So let's just take you out. Whoops. Yeah. Let's just take you out. There we go.
You can handle them, right?
Let the attack commence.
There we go. Excellent. Yeah, so there is a system here where you could attempt to not alert the whole camp that you're here. I don't know what that does. I've never cared about it. +4 enhancement bonus to strength and +8 enhancement bonus to constitution. In addition, whenever the wearer of the spell confers a critical hit with a natural weapon, the enemy must pass a will saving throw and become vulnerable to negative energy and unholy damage. That doesn't really help me. But wow, a natural weapon lich? That's interesting. What's in the thing? Ooh. Huh. Crushing burden. +5 vicious gnome hooked hammer. Lands 3 consecutive hits on the same enemy. The enemy must pass a fortitude saving throw or become fatigued. Whenever the wielder lands 3 consecutive hits on a fatigued enemy, that enemy must pass a fortitude saving throw or become exhausted. Holy smokes. Regal could make an enemy fatigued and exhausted all on one turn, and that's if they even survive. That's something to keep in mind. This +1 breastplate grants its wearer sonic resistance 10. Who would put this on at this point? Come on now. And decorated scabbard, bastard sword, card figurine. All right, very good stuff.
Forwards!
Very good stuff.
No, backwards. Backwards!
I'm here. Where else would I be?
Where else would I be?
Trail.
All right, we already went back that way. I don't particularly like the way. Oh, here we go. So we came around. So it looks like we did most of this.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
Right. Oh, we went here but didn't go all the way there, right?
I'll cheer you on from over there. +3. Cambion Bard. Stuff to sell. That's where the dragon is. We could have jumped down from there if we wanted to.
We'll make things right.
This way. I'll carve my name onto your flesh.
Too late. Nanio is attacking him. That's not good. Yep, too late there. Oh. Out and unholy R, it is very hard to resist those stunning things. Miners cut this crystalline vein open and picked it clean.
Oh, the waiting's never fun.
I will fight.
Like anybody I need to worry about over here? Excellent. Excellent. Ruthless assault. Whenever the wielder of this +5 anarchic great club successfully charges an enemy, the enemy must place a reflex saving throw and become stunned for 1 round, and all adjacent enemies suffer 2d6 bludgeoning damage. The stone wall is covered in small notches and cuts. These pickaxe marks look like they have been here for a while, suggesting that the miners abandoned this cave a long time ago.
Smile. The world's not ending just yet.
No, that's not worth that. Where's that freaking thing? There we go. Why are you getting hit up so much? What am I missing?
Who, me?
You got all your stuff. Except mirror image, right?
Now,
I'll
take the bait.
There we
Are we
go.
ready to move out?
Okay, now. Sheer brute. We can go this way. And then this way. Oh, it doesn't allow you to jump down, okay? So you gotta go all the way around.
Wherever my legs carry me.
Let her know that the dragon is dead. The demon's body drips filth and refuse, and her stench is nearly overpowering. She smiles sweetly at you. You have returned to me, mortal. My beauty must have charmed you. I killed the dragon. The demon shrieks with delight. You killed her. Did she suffer? A lot. Now take her big stupid bones and throw them into a pit of quicksand, because they're mine, and the silly lizard is all mine too. And you, I'll reward you. An object begins to move within the filthy belly of the fulsome queen. There's a squelching sound as she squeezes it out of her like a splinter, and a grimy tube falls to the floor. It looks like something a wizard would use to store valuable spell scrolls. These scrolls have very powerful spells written on them. I took them from a stupid I created them myself, yes. The fulsome queen falls silent, her face screwed up as if she's trying to work out a puzzle. Finally, she beams at you and declares, since you have served me so bravely and faithfully, you must now go and kill Hepzamirah. Then I will reward you with my powerfulness and give you true bliss. The slimy creature lets out a sickly, slurping sigh of satisfaction. What did Hepzamirah do to you? The demon begins to list her sorrows, ticking them off with her fingers. She has hurt me many times. She brought in noisy demons with spiky things. She won't let me eat yummy slaves. She sits around in my caves like the worst kind of rubbish. She didn't ask permission. Let her die. Die, die, die. Make her dead forever. And kill all the stupid demons too. They would definitely be waiting for you. You were very loud when you killed the dragon. The whole island shook. There's a gate in the big tunnel, and the stupid demons will be waiting for you there. Rip their stupid heads off and throw them into a whirlpool. Tell me what Hepzamirah is doing. I'll tell this to you and no one else. The demon chuckles and begins to whisper conspiratorially. She brought a bunch of tasty slaves here and told them to dig. They are noisy and make the whole island shake. They pound the rocks with their silly iron sticks and then gather the glowy stones and take them to the main cave. Then they bring lots of demons in there. They all start screaming in pain. At first, I hunted slaves. They were tasty. But then Hepzamirah sent demons with prickly things to hurt me. A large tunnel leads to the main cave, and there's a whole lot of demons there now. But Hepzamirah is stupid. I'm much smarter than her. I use holes to go wherever I want. I sneaked inside, ate the yummy slaves, and then I dumped their bodies into whirlpools. Do you know a way for me to slip past Hepzamirah's guards? The Folsom Queen seems puzzled by your question. She makes confused slurping noises and stares at you in bewilderment. Eventually, however, she bursts out triumphantly. I know, I am the wisest. I immediately thought of a very cunning plan to help you. While all the demons are sitting in the big tunnel waiting for you, you're going to sneak into my hole behind their back and kill that horned beast. The demon looks extremely pleased with herself. She waves her hand and the nearest cesspool of filth begins to bubble. The churning liquid slowly recedes, revealing a narrow crevice. The rocks are smeared with a thick layer of mud, and a disgusting stench emanates from its depths. What's at the other end of this passage? To the mine, where I hunted those yummy slaves. Hepzamirah will never expect you to come from there, because she is stupid, and I, the Folsom Queen, am full of cunning. Your cunning is beyond compare. The demon's liquid form wobbles and wriggles as she gurgles with laughter. We have a deal. I will destroy Hepzamirah. Yes, kill her, make her suffer, let her choke on sewage and then beg for mercy. Nasty, nasty, nasty horned imposter. You know what you should do to her? You should. The demon opens her mouth, but cannot come up with a suitable punishment. She stutters helplessly for a moment. Make her dead forever. I have to go. All right. All right. Floor 1 finished. Let's go to floor 2. Alright, so let's do a full save just in case. So, the one irritating thing about this place, after you deal with Hepzamirah, you gotta come all the way back to the first floor to talk with the Folsom Queen and let her know.
Backwards, backwards!
Master, save us. We're dying here.
I see blood.
They're not to work turn-based. Bam. Bam, bam. Freedom at last. Are you here to kill the demons? We can help. We know all the tunnels around here. We'll make those monsters pay. Thank you, Master. If it weren't for you, we'd have died in these damn mines. All right. We just came out from there. Oh, there we go. That's what it is. Save here.
I welcome
And
your
holy aura.
Let's prove their logic is lacking.
If you go up there without dealing with these two here, you'll pull them into combat while you're all the way over there. And it can be extremely annoying. Manio, you're through with these already? Fascinating. Mithril ingot.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
Doesn't matter what universe you're
My
in.
tail is twitching.
Mithril
Must
is
be a sign.
useful. And a golden ingot. Let's see.
This
here.
way.
Just did this. Now we can go here.
I'm always open to ideas.
Wherever my legs carry me.
Dig faster. You're here to work. The mistress didn't buy you at the flesh market so you can sit around and eat free grub. I can't take it anymore. My hands are falling off. Let me rest, you ugly bug. Your hands are falling off. Here, let me rip them off. Get to work, you scum. Get your hands off him, you filthy spawn. You came after all. Shut your mouth. We've got to get out of here. Who's there? An intruder? Look, it's fresh meat. Whoever kills her gets a double ration of food. First of all, after all she did all that, how you only noticing me as an intruder? And second of all, I do love that scene with Areelu, but still it's annoying because I bought him specifically so that she would know, like, hey, took care of your boy. I hope that's fixing the full game. Oof. Rough.
Forwards! No, backwards. Backwards!
Stuff to sell. Stuff to sell or craft with. Same there. Go back down this way. Come over here instead. We'll come up there later.
Trail me.
Already been that. Oh, wait. I'm turned around. Here, this way.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
I'll hit you.
Let's have some fun. Tactical retreat.
Whoa.
No.
First of all, why is there no haste? Second of all, keep him on his feet. Ooh. Third of all, keep him on his feet. This fight is tougher than I thought it was going to be. She's not doing anything. Is that a problem? There we go. That's why it seems so tough. My people weren't involved. Longsword. Oh, okay, this is the opening. So this is where you would come down if you went down the regular way.
Huh? Oh, yes, what?
The huge demon cowers in fear when he sees you. He trembles, covering his head with his huge hands. Eek! Who are you? Did Our Lady in Shadow send you to punish us? I knew this would happen. Have mercy. It's not my fault. Who are you? The words pour from his mouth, nearly tripping over themselves in their haste to escape his lips. My name is Zuneki. I used to be a slave here, but then I worked hard and they made me an overseer. I kept a good eye on the slaves, and if anyone slacked off, I whipped them hard. And when the slaves revolted, I lashed 3 of them to death before they brought me down and trampled me. When the guards cleared the mine shaft of rebels, they healed me, and I was assigned to watch the kitchen where they cooked gruel for the slaves. So I'm a cook, not a soldier. Don't hurt me, all right? I'm a good worker. I could do good work for you, too. Evil, you did what you needed to do to survive. A faint, sheepish smile appears on the demon's face. Then maybe you can let me go, huh? Tell me about this place. This is our newest location. We used to mine on other islands. We followed out Vazglar. We mined out there until there was nothing left, and the island began to sink. All the crystals were taken to the Nexus, and from there they were sent to Golarion, to some wizard called the Plagued One. Stupid name, huh? The demon chuckles nervously. That's why our camp was at the Nexus, but then it became dangerous there, and everyone was evacuated. So this is where we live now. But life here is so bad. The demon's eyes fill with tears. There are constant rock slides, predators prowl the caves, and a dragon hunted us until Hepzamirah formed a truce with her. There's also some kind of foul, stinking creature lurking about. Some of the guards ran into it and told me about its horrible stench. Of course, many of them disappeared on their patrols and never returned to report anything at all. And the crystals, they reek of something foul. Their light brings death. Most miners who manage to live longer than a year will die from exposure to the light. Those who survive become stronger and gain great power, but that doesn't happen often. Most of them just die. Why aren't you mining crystals on Olympia? The cowardly demon shrinks back in terror, his whole body shaking with fear. It's too dangerous. We wanted to, I swear we did. Our scouts inspected the mines there, carved out a few shafts, and confirmed that the veins were full. But then they caught a few of Nocticula's spies, and we realized that Our Lady in Shadow was watching us. Hepzamirah ordered us to stop what we were doing and get out of there. She said that we would mine the crystals later, after Nocticula was no longer a threat. The demon falters, suddenly realizing that he has said too much. Why does Hepzamirah need so many Nahindran crystals? The demon's voice drops to a wary whisper. She's gathering an army, a huge army to go to war on Golarion. But this army won't be like before. She gives her soldiers the power extracted from these crystals, and we've got so many crystals, no one will be able to resist this horde. What does Hepzamirah do with the crystals? Hepzamirah? Nothing. Everything is done by her assistant, Mutasaphen. He cuts the crystals to stabilize their delicate energies. If you don't cut the crystal quickly, it loses power. As the power drains away, the crystal grows dim. Anyway, once the crystal is cut, Mutasaphen selects a demon and conducts a ritual that will give them the mythic powers of the crystal. What can you give me in exchange for your life? The demon hesitates for a moment, torn between his greed and his cowardice, but the terror gets the best of him. In the kitchen, behind the cauldron, I had a stash there. I stole some things and hid them away. Take them. Just don't touch me. I will spare your life. Incredible mercy. I swear I won't forget this. I'll remember this for the rest of my miserable life, Master. The demon feigns tears and does his best to look grateful. An unappetizing gruel simmers in this pot-belly cauldron.
Let's shake a leg.
We'll keep you out here. I think this is where they go, and
Ask nicely.
he could be out here as well. We still have haste. I don't think we need holy aura for this. And there we go. I told you we'd be here. If we kill him, Hepzamirah will give us a reward. These people don't look all that tough, to be honest. We're not going to go turn-based mode. We're just going to deal with them. Yep. Body's dropping already. There we go. Well, I think there was a ring in that cache. All right, we're not scrolling through all that. News. Elemental Protector. This ring grants the wearer acid resistance, fire resistance, electricity resistance, and cold resistance. It also grants a +4 bonus on saving throws against cold and all the rest of them. Okay, cool. Interesting. I don't remember getting this. Oh, that's nice. That's something I would use, but still, nice. All right, moving right along.
I refuse to accept their statement.
There we go. These remains contain traces of divine power. The demons did not merely sacrifice this person to Baphomet, they tore them to shreds. All that is left of the body is a few scattered bones. Lovely.
Might be trap.
This way.
Might be treasure.
Fortitude saving throw failed. Oh, failed to disarm the trap. Oh well. No big deal. King Cookery +1. Excellent.
Missed me already.
You require my unbiased
Something
opinion?
wrong?
Rating.
Let's prove their logic is lacking.
Actually, you're still good. You're not. You need something to do. You're almost having things to do. Excellent. Regular stuff. Yep, okay. The demon Mutasaphen silently observes the army's departure with the air of a military leader watching soldiers on parade. When he finally notices you, he barely acknowledges your presence. Ah, it's you. Last time we met, you ran away in a hurry. This time, however, you don't seem in any rush to disappear. The last time we met, you were a hindrance to my plans, but now you might actually be of use. So please, be my guest. You can stay there and gloat as much as you want. You can even attack me. Believe it or not, you can't kill me, at least not permanently. Where's Hepzamirah? She's not far. She's actually on the other side of the barrier I constructed. It's an excellent barrier, very reliable. I perfected the formula invented by Areelu Vorlesh. These barriers cannot be opened without a key, and they are also perfectly camouflaged. I hear that the barrier in your little town of Dresden was particularly effective. Crusaders walked past the entrance to the Midnight Fane thousands of times, but never noticed it until now. You cannot get through the barrier to Hepzamirah without my help. I could help you, of course, but I won't. If you want my key, you're going to have to take it. Where are those demons going? Those marvelous demons that I selected by hand, the army that I personally nurtured and nourished with the power of Nahindrian crystals, they have been sent. I hope your imagination is already running wild with possibilities. Somewhere precious to you, somewhere entirely defenseless. Mutasaphen pauses. Well, any guesses? If you think I'm sending them to the little town of Dresden, you're mistaken. First of all, it is already being dealt with by others. And second, there isn't much honor to be gained from conquering that pathetic rock pile. The town's been ravaged like a whore. It's been taken more times than a brothel slave in Alan Shinra. No, my army will not go to Dresden. Our mutual acquaintance showed a far more interesting target. The Echo of Deskari told me about a sanctuary of the Imperial Lord Pelora that is hidden in the depths of the Worldwound. It seems that a handful of Sarkorian stargazers and their angelic patron have been fooling the armies of the Abyss for years. The temple has been hidden under the noses of all the mighty demon leaders, Manago, Darazan, and of course, Hepzamirah. No one has ever found it. If I conquer it and bring it to ruin, the victory will be mine alone. And I have something very special planned for those stargazers. The demon licks his lips. Why are you working with the Echo of Deskari? Because it is a pleasure to work with him. Our business arrangement is mutually beneficial. In the Abyss, there are two kinds of alliances. Alliances based on shared interest, and an alliance based on shared enemies. My alliance with the Echo falls primarily into the first category, for now. He gave me information about the location of Pelora's hidden sanctuary in the Worldwound, and in exchange, I performed a Nahindrian ritual on him and endowed him with new powers. You should keep that in mind the next time you see him, and you will see him again, soon. Does Hepzamirah know about your plans? Why do you think we're having this conversation? She's never suspected my true intentions, as she may still be clueless now. Of course, it is also possible that she has discovered my plans too late and is now powerless to stop me. But what's a little betrayal between demons? I took control of the army, waited for you to knock on the gate, and then gave the order for them to march out. If everything goes according to plan, I'll be long gone by the time you and Hepzamirah have finished with one another. I'm going to intimidate him because we know we can't. You know what? No. He might have something on his body. I was going to say I was going to intimidate him so I could just get the key and he could go because there's no way to kill him permanently. But I don't know if you get something special from him. So let's go ahead and do it. Attack. I'm going to stop you. Mutasaphen moves so swiftly, your eyes almost miss it. Now you understand. You cannot prevent my army from plundering the Temple of Golarion, but you can always try to kill me. If you succeed, you can take the key from my still-warm corpse and go confront Hepzamirah in her quarters. Then you can kill her too, if you're strong enough, of course. Yeah, I don't get what's going on with him, why it is that it seems like he can't be killed, to be honest with you.
Can't you just die already?
Nanio. So, anything? Mustapha's apprentice has some nice stuff. And yep, okay. Word to the wise. Mutasaphen is worth taking down. So let's look at this stuff. Vast intelligence +2, heavy crossbow, master key, corrosive bomb, belt of incredible dexterity, contagious shroud. Whenever the wearer of this cloak is attacked in melee, the attacker must pass a fortitude saving throw or become sickened and vulnerable to acid for 4 rounds. This effect can only occur once per attacker during a combat. Interesting.
I think I did it.
If you look beyond the ruined bridge, you can see a planar rift in the distance.
Wherever my legs carry me.
All right.
I did it.
This magical equipment is used to give mythic powers to demons. These implements are similar to the ones you saw in Xanthir's lab.
My tail is twitching. Must be a sign.
Money. These working notes document possible methods for blocking the powers granted by the Nahindrian crystals. However, the notes are incomplete. Either the research is unfinished or is it reached a dead end. Mutasaphen's letter. There you go.
This is my kind of work.
Lots of diamond dust. And elven notes. Very, very nice. There. There. All right.
Forwards? No, backwards.
No,
Backwards.
No, backwards.
My tail is restless. After all.
Oh yeah, all of the stuff is gone. Makes sense. I was like, why is he getting hit up that way? Alright, regular stuff. A specific tool will be needed to dispel the barrier of seething abyssal energy that blocks this path. And there we go. Pixie dust. This religious icon depicts the head of a goat. The goat has a blazing star on its forehead. A strange, confusing map of the abyssal realms. An unusually accurate map of Golarion. It depicts the topography of both Mendev and the Worldwound with detailed precision.
Might be trap, might be treasure.
Oh.
Pretty good, aren't I?
Cold Iron, Earthbreaker +1. Okay. I think this is a good place to end the episode, so I will rest and get all my buffs in before we start the next episode, which will be the last episode of this playthrough. Very, very exciting. Appreciate everybody who's been watching the episodes and supporting me thus far. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next video. Take care.